Henry Nebe, the coordinator for night programs and Saturday programs. Well, it's interesting. I'd have to give you just a little bit background to how I came to Delgado. When I came home from Korea, I went back to teaching for 6 years. And during that time, I worked on my master's degree. And it just so happened that Dr. Thames, who was the president of Delgado at the time, was working also. We had 4 or 5 of us went up to Baton Rouge in a car. Went twice a week. And we got to know each other real well. And after we got the master's degree, I got a call from Dr. Thames. I was at Sophie Wright High School teaching. And he said, I'd like to come out and have lunch with me. I said, that'd be nice, very nice. So I went out, we had lunch together. He said, listen, he said, how would you like to come to Delgado? I said, well, what would you want me to do? He said, they're getting ready to have a big rehabilitation program, first in the nation, as part of a Trade and Technical Institute. He said, it's in the making, it will be approved soon, we're going to have a building. And he went in to give some of the details about the program, and which sounded real interesting to me. So then I said, well, I know, he said, no, he said, right now I want to call Johnny Pruitt, who was the district director of rehabilitation in New Orleans. And he was on the phone, he told Mr. Pruitt, said, come right over, I want to talk to you. And he talked to me, and he went through my background and degrees and such. He said, you are perfect, what we want. I said, what for what? He said, I want you to go up tomorrow, I want you to go to Baton Rouge to Mr. Sid Hendricks, who was the top man in Baton Rouge at the time under the governor's office. And I said, okay. So I went up there and I had an interview with Mr. Hendricks, who was a tremendous person. He interviewed me for about 3 hours, and he can really give you an interview. And he said, well, he said, I want you to come with me over to Delgado. I said, okay. And he said, we'd like to hire you. I said, well, what do you want me to do? He said, we'd like to let you start as a rehab counselor. He said, you've got the perfect background for that, and you've got the perfect background for what is in the planning stages. I said, okay. So I went over there, we met, and we had a nice meeting with the, at the time was the Department of Education was the superintendent then. So they both interviewed me, and right there in the room, he turns to Mr. Hendricks and said, he's hired. So that's a big, quick change in quick time. So I started in let's see, 1960. But in the middle of 1960. And I started as a rehab counselor out of the New Orleans district office. Since 1998, I have been doing exactly what I'm doing now, coordinator, but at the time they called it a supervisor. But we weren't supervising it. They had, department heads were supervising their people and still responsible for their people. So we were changed to coordinators. But that's what I've been doing for the last 26 years or so. Mm-hmm. Keep going as long as I'm able to do it and I'm of some value to the institution, because it gave me so much. Well, all I can say is many times I stop and think how fortunate a person I've been to have worked just about all of my life, other than teaching 6 years and 1 year with rehab at Delgado College. Wouldn't trade it for anything.